Yo, it's JP. And chess.com just came out with a new feature. There's an endgames trainer where you pick whatever the fuck endgame you want to practice and you go against the computer at max strength. So it's a really nice tool to practice endgames that you may not be familiar with. So I'm just going to do a little showcase and go through um, probably arguably one of the most simple endgames, king and pawn. So there's 5 different levels. It's when your king is on the 6th rank, and there's a space between your pawn. That's the easiest. And then the second, there's no space. Third, your king's all the way over here, so it's a little more difficult. There's a lot of things the enemy king can do to make you draw. Fourth most difficult is sort of like a more random position where you have to work a little bit harder to promote your pawn. And the most difficult is uh, your king is over here, close to the side of the board, where it is the easiest for the enemy to stalemate if you are not careful. So let's go through it. So this is really simple. When there's a space and the king's on the back rank, you could sort of just escort this pawn very easily. So you turn it into a queen, and then this endgame is, you should know by heart. This is the first endgame you should learn, is queen and king versus a lone king, and checkmate. So this next one, to get the king off the back rank without the space, you have to sort of go to the side a little bit. Hello? There we go. Okay. Then it transposes into the same thing. So what I'm doing is I cut the king off first, and then I make knight moves. I shadow. I'm basically shadowing the king, and I don't want to move my queen one more time because I'll be in stalemate. So now I have to move my king over and deliver checkmate that way. So this one I was saying is a little bit harder. I want to stay in front of my pawn, and when we have this opposition here, I use that extra move to make the king move off the opposition, and then I get this opposite opposition, and then you can see that we arrive at the same position, and then he has to move either right or left because my king guards these 2 squares. I come over here, then I could start getting my pawn a little closer. This is the ideal position. Oh, just kidding. So we're going to have to do this, yeah. Then he makes that move. This is the ideal position. These 3 squares are guarded by your king, and there's nothing the enemy king can do to stop this pawn. Then you have to... So I'm just going to make a waiting move so he gets off this rank. There we go. Waiting move. Waiting move. So I want him to get back to this first rank here. There we go. So now he's in the perfect spot. If you're not careful, one wrong move, then it's going to be stalemate. The king has no legal moves that he's not in check. So this one's a little tricky. Opposite opposition. Here, 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 here. Nope, messed that up. Then he's going to have to go here or here, and then I go the opposite way, and then I can promote. So cutting the king off, I'm forcing him. He's got 3 ranks. He's got 3 ranks. All right? So I don't want him to go this way. I want him to go closer to the edge of the board. He needs 1 rank left. It's the only way you're going to checkmate. So I start moving my king over. And now I am moving up. I'm cutting off another rank. And I can't go to this rank because then he'll just go this way. So I have to move my king. I have to move my king. I have to move my king. And now I can move my I can move my king here. No, that would be stalemate. I could check him. Okay, notice this. If I move my king anywhere, this king has nowhere to go, and that's stalemate. So I have to bring my queen back. And then I can cut off this last rank. And then I can get closer, and now I can checkmate. Otherwise, it's a lot, or it's a draw rather. So this one's the hardest because the king can do some weird shit up here. So I come over this way, bring my pawn up, so he has to go here, and then I can gain this opposition, so he has to go to one side. So I'm going opposite opposition. He's coming forward. I force him back with a check. So this is where it's tricky, okay? Because he's going to be in this corner, and normally like we have another rank to work with. So when he goes here, only legal move. If I move my pawn, I lose, or rather it's a draw. So I have to move here, which this king moves over this way, and now normally this wouldn't work because if it's the end of the board, I can move to the right. And even though he's here, now I can move my pawn up. And he has to move back here. And this normally would draw if it was on any other file. Like if I was either the H file or the A file, you could do this in reverse. But I move my pawn up. He couldn't go here, he couldn't go here, he couldn't go here. So he has to go this way. But then I could move this up and it's not stalemate because he still has more room over here. And then I make my queen. And then this is just cutting him off. Moving my king closer. King closer. Improve my queen. I'm going to mate him on this first rank because he was closer. If you notice now, I have to get my king here. Or here. This might work too, actually. So I could put my queen here, and this is checkmate. That's it. We got all 5. So, you need to work on your endgames if you're going to get better. So, definitely check out the endgame tool on chess.com and start practicing. See you later. Thanks for watching.